Hello, this is Susan Duclos with All News Pipeline this February 2nd, 2017. We're going to discuss today how President Trump has just taken the bullseye off of Americans, American patriots, religious groups, preppers, constitutionalists, and put it right where it belongs on radical Islamic extremism. Let's go back to 2009, where we first found the disturbing reports that the Obama administration was focusing more on radicals on the right than he was Islamic extremism. It started with a report that he had done by the Homeland Security Office of Intelligence and Analysis, which described right wing extremist activity. uh, they highlighted in that report the fact that they believed disgruntled war veterans could swell the ranks of white power militias. We're going to go to another piece at the Washington Times where even a top House Democrat with the oversight of the Department of Homeland Security about the report said he was dumbfounded that such a report would be issued. He said this report appears to raise significant issues involving the privacy and civil liberties of many Americans, including war veterans. Of course, at the time, Napolitano was in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, and she defended the report, which says right wing extremism may include groups that are opposed to abortion, immigration, as merely one among several threat assessments. So there was no doubt that from the very beginning of the Obama administration, it was conservative ideals and groups associated with those that he was targeting. In 2013, we found out that in Army training material, at a Army Reserve unit based in Pennsylvania, a training instructor actually listed evangelical Christianity, Catholicism, and even Islamophobia as examples of religious extremism, and they listed alongside them Ku Klux Klan, Hamas, Al Qaeda, saying that these groups were just as dangerous as one another. Again, more people being targeted by the Obama administration other than radical Islamic extremists, which Obama wouldn't even utter the words. Everybody has seen all the stories about that, so I'm not even going to go into it. Now let's go to another. In 2015, the new Obama czar will hunt right wing extremists. Are we beginning to see a pattern here of who the Obama administration was targeting? And one last one before we get to the news of the day. In 2012, reports from 2009 on, when Obama took office, Tea Party groups and Patriot groups kept saying they were being targeted by IRS. And it was denied, it was denied. It was even called a conspiracy theory until 2012, when the IRS actually apologized for targeting conservative groups. So once again, we see throughout the whole Obama administration, they have been targeting conservatives while refusing to address the terrorism within the U.S., which we've seen from Chattanooga to San Bernardino to Orlando, Florida. The most high profile terrorist attacks, even in Germany and in France, have been from Islamic extremism. Well, it's 2017 now, and there is a new president in the White House, and President Trump is changing a program that the Countering Violent Extremism program, which focuses on domestic extremism. He's going to change the name of that program to Countering Islamic Extremism or Countering Radical Islamic Extremism. It will no longer target groups such as white supremacists, as Reuters reported. Now, I am not saying white supremacists cannot be dangerous, are not dangerous, but the most high profile attacks on American soil to date, especially over the past, what, 5, 6 years, have not been from white supremacist groups. They have been from radical Islamic extremist groups. In fact, we're going to go over to just some of the attacks during Obama's administration. This is a site called the Religion of Peace, and they go back, I believe, to the 1970s on attacks from Islamic extremists on U.S. soil. But I'm going just the ones listed here are just the ones since Obama became president. You have some. This number here is how many died. This here is how many injured. We're just going to cover the ones where there were multiple deaths. Fort Hood, Texas, in 11/5/2009, Muslim psychiatrists gunned down 13 unarmed soldiers while yelling praises to Allah. 13 were dead, 31 were injured. You had the Chattanooga, Tennessee, where a devout Muslim stages a suicide attack on a recruiting center at a strip mall and a naval center, which left 5 dead and 2 injured. You have the attack in San Bernardino, California, where 14 died, 17 were injured. A very religious Muslim shoots up a Christmas party with his wife, leaving 14 dead. Of course, we all remember the Orlando, Florida, at the Pulse nightclub. 49 dead, 53 injured in Islamic extremist massacres. 49 people at a gay nightclub. And then Fort Lauderdale. This one was January 6, 2017. 5 dead, 6 injured. A convert to Islam guns down 5 innocents in the baggage claim area of an airport. Now, as I point out in the article associated with this video, which will be in the details and has links to all these articles that I'm showing you here, Hoda Hawa, a director of policy for the Muslim Public Affairs Council, says it's concerning for us because they're targeting a faith group and casting under a net of suspicion. This is deliberate intellectual dishonesty here, okay? He's not targeting a faith group. He's targeting an extremist group. And, I mean, that's exactly, it says radical Islamic extremism or countering Islamic extremism. We're not saying, or he's not saying, all Muslims are terrorists or all Muslims are extremists. What he's doing is he is trying to weed out and take care of a problem that's been ignored for the last 8 years. But you can see just by that assertion that he's targeting a faith group exactly how the mainstream media is going to play this. They're going to call every action he takes to make America safe again Islamophobia. That's going to be their narrative the whole way around. We have terror groups, and I have a video in the article that I'm going to have linked in the details here showing that there are terror groups training on American soil. Who are they training to attack? Well, I'll let you all come up with the answer to that when you see the video in there. But the point is, Trump is doing what he has to do. His immigration pause from countries that have a very high level of terrorist activity, that's until he can figure out how to vet them in a much more stringent manner. That's taken care of trying to stop terrorists from infiltrating the refugee program and getting into America to plan attacks on U.S. soil. But he also has to take care of the ones that are already here, planning attacks right now. So he's got to take these moves, and we all know how the mainstream media is going to phrase this. Their narrative is they're going to pound that narrative home for the sheep that still listen to them. But as you can see, he is now taking the target off the back, the target Obama put on Patriots back in America, and he's putting the bullseye on Islamic radical extremists. Have a good day.